Hi, this is Kat. Welcome to my craft room at inkingpaperwithkat.com. Today's project is this tiny little box. It's 1.5 by 1.5 by 1.5, and it opens like so, and inside is an orange chocolate Lindt Truffle, all wrapped up in pumpkin orange. What could be better for Halloween, especially when you're wanting to give a treat to a coworker or your neighbors, but adults, they would appreciate the Lindt Truffle. Let's look at what we need for today's project. You're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 4.5 by 7.5. This is the thick Very Vanilla, and I really like this. This is a great new product. We also need a scrap of basic black for punching, a scrap of Very Vanilla for stamping and punching, and we need 4 pieces that are 1.25 by 1.25 of DSP. And we want 2 different patterns. So these are the patterns I've chosen from today. They're both from the Spooky Night DSP pack. And you can see on this box that their different patterns are used to give that effect. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is score our box, so let's get our Simply Scoreboard out. I'm going to put the long side at the top, and we are going to score at 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6. Turn it to the short side and score at 1.5 and 3. So that's all of our scoring done. Let's fold and burnish our box. Now this is a heavier weight cardstock, so you really need to burnish the folds well so that your box will hold a true shape. Okay. Now, with your paper, the long side at the top, we are going to cut up each of these score lines to the first horizontal line. We're going to do that on both sides. Alright, this will be the bottom of your box, and it's going to fold up like that. So what we want to do is we want to trim these 2 middle flaps, and we're going to just take off about 1/3. And then just take a small wedge. Okay, let's put our box together. We need some fast fuse or double-sided tape, whichever one you want. You could use Tombow if you wanted. Now I am putting quite a bit of fast fuse on these 2 outside flaps. I really want those to hold securely so this box closes well. Alright, so bring those sides in, line them up, and then these 2 fold around. Make sure you've lined that up nice and square. Okay, on this side of the box, it is going to close like that. So we're going to put fast fuse on the two outside flaps again, making sure we've put an adequate amount. Okay, we have one more cut to make. Take a pair of long scissors and the top of your box. You are going to cut from this point to this point. So you're cutting diagonally across your box. So if you line up your scissors and just bravely cut, it will be fine, I promise. Line up the points. And cut. Alright, let's get our DSP out and put it on our box. For this you can use snail and decide which patterns you want where. If you want, stripes on top or whatever it is that you want. So let's do the inside of the box first. So you can see that what I did was I rotated those, or alternated those, I guess would be a better way of putting it. Now, if you have a directional pattern like stripes, you need to make sure that you are putting them in the same direction on the box. So we had the stripes going up and down on the front. We're going to put the stripes going up and down on the back. Excuse me. Then on the side we're using a different pattern. This is again stripes, but it is a wider stripe. This is more like just drawn lines. It's actually a pretty piece of paper. Alright, now, when we close our box, we want to have a different, excuse me, I seem to either have allergies or be catching a cold, a different pattern on this top panel. So take a pair of scissors, and again, just go diagonally across. Now, because of the nature of stripes, you would then do the same thing with your other piece of DSP so that you can get your stripes running in the right direction. Okay, so this panel, we again want to alternate and put a different pattern. And you could use 3 patterns if you wanted. You could use as many as you want. This is a great project for using up those small pieces of DSP that you've had left over from making all of your Halloween projects. Yeah, that's the way I want it. Okay, the last thing we need to do to our box is we need to take a small punch, small circle punch, and just put in a bit of a thumb hole so that it becomes easier for people to open the box. It is a very tight fitting box. And as you can see, our little Lindt chocolate fits in perfectly. All right, let's do some stamping. Now, for this stamp, I'm using the Spooky Cat, and I'm using this Trick or Treat. As you can see, it goes straight across. Well, I didn't want that. I wanted it to stack like that. Easy peasy. Just get out your Stampin' Right markers, and using the brush side, you are going to apply ink to just the word trick. And stamp that towards the top of your piece of Berry Vanilla. All right. Now what we are going to do is clean our stamp, dry it off, and we are going to do treat the same way. Now, because these are photopolymer, you can see through them, so you know how to line it up. And line it up under, but remember to leave some space so that you can put the little or in there. Okay, clean off your stamp, dry it well, and get out your black marker, again with the brush side, and you are just going to color the little or with the two lines, one above and one below. Position it in the middle between the two words. And there you have it. Trick or Treat, stamped so that you can use a smaller punch and it'll fit on your tiny box. We're using the 1 1/4 and the 1 3/8. So with the 1 1/4, punch your grading. Make sure you get it centered. Then with the 1 3/8, you are just going to punch a black circle using dimensionals. You're going to layer this. Okay, let's bring our box back in. We're going to layer it on the box. Now, it's your choice whether you put it on the top of the box or you put it on the front of the box. I'm going for the front. And there you have it. It looks a lot more complicated than it is. It looks like it would take a lot longer than it does. They're fairly quick little projects to make. They look really impressive and would make a lovely little treat for an adult. Happy Halloween. I hope you visit again soon.